I do hope that you can hear me now because we were having a little bit of a technical difficulty a moment ago. Now, you guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous to do this live on air, which is actually why I decided you need to do this live on air because, personal challenges and shit. So today is not going to be a psychology-related or lifestyle-related necessarily podcast episode. Today is going to be the episode where immediately the second I go on the friggin' air, the cats all converge on me, start making annoying and inappropriate noises, and trying to steal my food. So that must bode well for the episode I'm about to unload on you. Now, FYI, I want to let everybody know that this is satire. This is comedy. If you don't like it, that's okay. Be respectful, or I might go full comedy queen on your ass. Just, fair warning. And, if you like it, great. If you don't, great. Again, it's satire. It's comedy. So if you don't have a funny bone, don't listen. Okay? And I'm not talking about that thing in your pants. It's not funny, and it's not a bone, okay? And it kind of concerns me that you maybe think it is. So, anywho, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read my short essay, comedic, humorous satire, titled Parades. It's July. That means parades. So let's talk about parades for a second. Parades are a product of, you guessed it, white people. How do I know this? Because they're dumb and unnecessary and just a little bit backwards. Thanks to a good 60% of my ancestors, these fucking things exist. Thanks, guys. So picture this. It's 1600 something. Folks are getting all ready to leave for the new world, where they're excited to be able to do the discriminating this time, rather than being the object of it. That always sucks. So, this is clearly cause for celebration. There are all of these oppressed white people waiting to get on the Mayflower and shit. Not to be confused, of course, with the Mayerflower, which is John Mayer's mega yacht. And as they all pack onto this wooden shit show of a boat, there are the town criers and census takers, as you do. And they're all standing there with their quills and parchment in hand, recording who's going to the new world. So as folks are boarding, they're asking them questions. They're like, so what are you planning on doing when you get there? And the pilgrims be like, aside from probably murdering the natives and displacing those who don't die, I don't know, maybe celebrating our unique culture and shit. Honestly, we really haven't thought that far ahead. And the census takers and town criers are all like, cool. So how are you planning on doing all of that, though? And this gets those crafty pilgrims thinking. They're like, dude, I don't know. How are we planning on doing all of that? And that's when some genius pipes up. I know. We will march through the streets, lighting things on fire and throwing away food. That'll surely invoke a sense of vigorous patriotism, the likes of which have not yet been seen. The town criers are all, so basically you're staging a demonstration, like a war really, but with candy and kids engaging in Mortal Kombat for Tootsie Rolls, which there will never be enough of. And the pilgrims are all, basically. And it's at this point when everybody stops trying to get those lousy pilgrims to stick around. After hearing all of that, the Europeans are like, yep, that'll do it. Sayonara, bitches. Have fun with that whole new world situation. Sounds like a blast. Be sure to send us postcards and make sure to post lots on Insta so we can all congregate merrily down at the pub. I'm not going to lie, there'll probably be more than a little bit of schadenfreude on our end because while we're nice and comfy over at our pub in Europe with roofs over our heads and fireplaces to keep us nice and toasty warm, you're going to be over there trying to live off the land and likely being slaughtered by the natives for pulling that whole blanket prank y'all were talking about doing when you got there. Yo, that might not translate too well. Just letting you know. But hey, if it happens, make sure to live stream it. And the pilgrims are like, all right, cool. We will. Hashtag men going their own way. Hashtag, oh no they didn't. Hashtag, oh yes they did. And town criers and census takers pat their comrades on the back vigorously and shake their heads in bemusement as they aboard their wooden ship with no bathrooms. Hashtag poop cruise. And once the Mayflower hits the open sea, the pilgrims start noticing these signs on each other's backs saying wonderful going away wishes and imparting slogans such as, "You're all going to die," and "Fuck right off over the horizon, assholes." So that's my historical outline of the humble beginnings of the American parade. But what are parades like in modern life? Let me tell you. Parades are a place for all the neighborhood cops who are not currently engaged in rounding up black people to go. I'm serious. There are more cops at parades like these than you're likely to see at your local craft donut and racism shop. Bum. Parades are a place for inappropriate levels of patriotism. See White Pride for further reading. Parades are a place where it's always okay to say America, love it or leave it, while ejecting copious amounts of burnt diesel from the dual exhausts in your Ford F-350 pickup. America. Am I right? America. Parades are a place where parents are allowed to express themselves without fear of judgment. For example, at parades, it's totally okay to physically assault other individuals for their choice lawn chair spots. It's just fun and games. Patriotism in action, right? Nothing wrong with that. Parades are kid-friendly too, and pretty fun for kids. They're pretty kid-friendly. Parades are a place where kids can gleefully engage in a level of mortal combat heretofore unimagined for the right to the ownership of that prized Tootsie Roll or Laffy Taffy, only to be brutalized by overzealous adults when they get it, carrying an overly full pillowcase of kids' candy. Now, are these adults actually collecting candy for kids, or has the parade basically driven them into a state of unhinged madness? Alas, we may never know. Parades are a place where corporate entities definitely are people, my friend. For example, expect to see businesses rolling through the streets of your hometown with overly done floats that advertise their latest products and/or services. Because freedom of speech. Am I right? Because nothing says patriotism like white people trying to sell you shit you don't want or need. Parades are also a place where politicians can be themselves. And by that I mean that politicians and aspiring politicians, of course, can fulfill their life stream of spraying their bald spots with shoe polish before being carried through the streets of your town, USA, in midlife crisis cars for the express purpose of having everyone gaze fondly at them as they wave like they're Caesar of Rome or something. You guys, this is a tough job, though. It's not for the faint of heart, because we have literally had a president die doing this. Tough work. Politicians are everyday heroes. And as all this plays out, we get to listen to the local high school's unironic marching jazz band. Of course, because it's a jazz band, you can expect to see them improvising their own parade routes while they attempt to play a Charlie Parker cover that absolutely no one will recognize. Like, not a fucking soul. Don't even try. You're not going to guess it. You're not going to recognize it. You don't know what song they're playing. You don't know. And then you get to sweat outside while waiting for the parade to end. We Americans are patriotic fuckers, so this could take hours. Don't wait up. I woke up one Sunday morning when I first moved into my new apartment, thinking I was in a war zone, convinced that the purge was happening right outside my French doors. But it was a parade. Parades are great for veterans, dogs, and folks with PTSD, too. They allow them to freely commit to being themselves, by which I mean that they are free to dissolve into puddles of anxiety as the patriotic Americans outside their house reenact a war complete with drums and explosives, fit to leave dogs veterans and the mentally unstable alike tinkling in the wrong place. But patriotism. Parades tell us who to vote for, what to buy, and how to absolutely never act. Parades are a uniquely American tradition, much like coming to a new world in order to escape persecution and remove the natives. Unironically. Some might question how watching adults and children fight it out for that disgusting Tootsie Roll the local mayor's Corvette just ran over, while simultaneously reducing dogs, veterans, and the mentally ill to a quivering collective mass, is patriotic in any way. But you know what we say to that? Yeah, me neither. Anyone? Guys? All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to my little satirical essay. You guys are awesome, and thank you for just giving me the chance to act like I'm actually funny for a hot second. Appreciate it. I will definitely be back sometime soon with some psychology-based podcasts, and you guys let me know what you want to hear more of. Okay. Be well and take care out there, especially if you're waiting to leave a parade that started at 9 a.m. Hang in there. It'll be fine. I promise. You will get home at some point. You may have to take shelter in your car and utilize a go-girl when you have to use the bathroom, but you will get through it. Okay. That's me signing off. Be well. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.